Did you know the first Passover wasn't just a feast, but a moment when God's power broke the chains of slavery? And it points us straight to Jesus? Let me tell you how. Before we dive in, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I love seeing our community from all over the world. I want you to imagine living as a slave, waking up every morning to the crack of a whip, dust swirling around your bare feet as you haul heavy bricks under the hot Egyptian sun. This was life for the Israelites for hundreds of years. It felt like God was silent, but he hadn't forgotten them. Then, one day, everything changed. Moses, a man God chose, came to Pharaoh, demanding freedom for God's people. But Pharaoh's heart was stubborn, refusing to let them go. So God sent plagues. Water turning into blood, frogs leaping everywhere, darkness covering the land. Each plague was a warning, a chance for Pharaoh to let the Israelites go, but he refused. Then came the 10th and final plague, the most devastating of them all, the death of every firstborn in Egypt. But God made a promise to his people. If they followed his instructions, their families would be spared. God told each family to take a perfect lamb without any defects and sacrifice it. They were to take some of the lamb's blood and paint it on the doorposts of their homes. That night, when God's judgment came over Egypt, he would pass over every house marked with the blood, sparing the firstborn inside. Can you imagine the fear and trembling in the camp as families gathered together, listening to the cries of the Egyptians in the night while they sat safely inside, protected by God's promise? They ate the lamb, along with bitter herbs and unleavened bread, ready to leave Egypt at any moment. And then it happened. Pharaoh, overwhelmed by grief, finally told them to leave. The Israelites, carrying their belongings and the memories of what God had just done, left Egypt that night as free people. They weren't slaves anymore. God had kept his promise. And God told them, every year you will remember this night. So they did, calling it Passover, remembering how God delivered them from slavery and showed his power and mercy. Many years later, during Passover, another lamb would be sacrificed. This time, it wasn't just to free people from physical slavery, but to free all of us from the slavery of sin. That lamb was Jesus. Jesus was without sin, perfect in every way, and he was killed during Passover. His blood became the mark that saves us from judgment, just like the blood on the doorposts saved the Israelites. Because of Jesus, death passes over us, and we can live in freedom. Passover isn't just a story about the past. It's a reminder that God keeps his promises, that he hears us when we cry out, and that he has made a way for us to live in freedom, no longer slaves to sin. God's deliverance of Israel during Passover points to the greater deliverance we have in Jesus. Just as God freed his people from Egypt, Jesus frees us from the slavery of sin through his sacrifice on the cross. Whenever you feel stuck or like God has forgotten you, remember, he is faithful to his promises, and because of Jesus, you are free. What part of this video stood out to you the most? Comment down below. If this encouraged you, share it with someone who needs to hear how God's promises are still true today. And if you want to hear more stories that connect the Bible to your everyday life, follow for more.